The Shore, a PC-only game that was released in 2021, has gotten a console released earlier this year in 2026 called The Shore Enhanced Edition. I'm Chainsaw Reacts, and this is my first time playing the game, and I've been waiting for years to play this game. And I am 100% serious when I said I've been waiting years to play this game because I am a huge Lovecraftian fan. I love Cthulhu. I love all of that Lovecraftian stuff. And when I've seen random gameplay clips of this game on PC, obviously for years, I was always getting jealous because I've always wanted to play it. Well, now I finally played it. The synopsis is pretty simple. A father is trying to search for his lost daughter on this mysterious, desolate island, and that's pretty much it diving into the game. Now, there isn't a lot of action per se in this game, but there is a lot of interesting visuals and sound, and the locations you go through in this game I think are pretty fascinating, especially when you're going through portals in this game, and you'll understand when you get into it. Now, the game is relatively short in terms of its actual runtime, in terms of start to finish when you play the game. I do wish the game was actually longer because there isn't really a lot of gameplay per se in this. It's more so just trying to find items and piece together what happened to your daughter. Now, there is some actual action per se you get into in this game where you're actually fighting back against creatures that you're running into in the game, but it isn't a constant thing that you're doing in the game. It's more so exploring the areas and locations that your character is going through. When you collect certain items, you can unlock certain areas, and trying to piece together, like I mentioned, what happened to your daughter. Now, with that being said, I wish there was more involved in this game in terms of actual things you do besides collecting items. And I understand I'm nitpicking because the developers of The Shore wanted to make this kind of game. They didn't want to make an action-packed Lovecraftian game where you're just running around with a bunch of weapons and killing creatures. That would have been cool, but that's not what they were trying to do with this. So I understand that I may be in the minority when it comes to this being an issue, because I have seen gameplay of this game for years, as I mentioned earlier in the video, so I knew going in what to expect, but I didn't see full playthroughs of the game, so I was expecting and hoping for more to do as I'm continuing along this journey and going into different locations and seeing different creatures and learning more about what's actually happening here to our character and the overall story. I was just expecting something more. Now, the visuals overall in this game I think are kind of mixed. When you're on the actual island itself, it's kind of bare. There isn't a lot really going on visually there, but it services its purpose. But it's when you actually get to the other locations in the game and seeing more of the Lovecraftian kind of, esque stuff, that's where I think the visuals, the actual look of the game shines, is when you're actually in more locations and different locations than the beach kind of island setting, which is the opening. I really feel like that's where they really shined, is when you're going into different dimensions and portals and seeing these different creatures. I think that's where they really shined when it came to developing this game. I wish they would have put more effort into the actual island itself and the looks of it, because even though I know it's a desolate, mysterious, kind of creepy island, I feel like they could have done something a little bit more to make it more interesting, because you do spend a decent amount of time in that location as you're traveling to different areas and going to do different kind of, like, I guess, missions, quote unquote, to progress further in the game. Even though this game really didn't blow me away and I was wanting more and I was kind of disappointed in a sense when it comes to certain points of the game, I will say I am happy that I finally got to play it. Like, instead of me just seeing clips on YouTube or scrolling through different social media platforms and seeing random clips or random playthroughs, and I would just watch a little bit of them here or there, I'm glad that I can finally say, hey, at least I played the game on my own and actually gave it my own chance, versus just seeing some things and just going, well, it looks good, but now I can actually say I've actually played it. But I didn't love it, and I hate the fact that I didn't. I hate the fact that I didn't like it more. But they at least delivered on, a creepy aesthetic, the Cthulhu, Lovecraftian aesthetic as well, in terms of that being a part of the narrative. I also forgot to mention the sound and voiceovers in this game. I think the sound effects and just overall the sound and what you're hearing as you're playing the game definitely adds to the eeriness and creepiness of it. The voice cast, I think, is overall fine. I think the voice of, like, the Lovecraftian stuff definitely sounded better to me. I think the voiceover for the actual father, the character you're playing as, it was okay. It was passable. I really wasn't blown away by his performance. But thankfully, that didn't take me out of the game necessarily. Like, it was fine. I was listening to it, understanding where we're at currently in the story, and just kind of moved forward and was just kind of focusing on the other things that I was actually enjoying in the game to kind of keep the experience more positive, even though I was having some issues. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that I played it, and that's really what matters to me. I would say this: if you have any interest whatsoever in this game, if you've seen clips on PC and just never played it on PC, or you've seen playthroughs, I would recommend giving it a shot. I mean, like I said, there are some interesting elements to it, but I wouldn't say like you have to rush out and get it like right now, because it was something that I've been waiting years for, and thankfully I've been able to get a chance to play it. But it wasn't like, oh my god, I had to drop everything to play it. It was just like, okay, it was fine. I'm disappointed, but hey, at least I gave it a shot. I gave it a chance versus just me assuming it's good or bad and then didn't actually give it a shot at all. I'm glad that I gave it a chance. So, yeah, the short enhanced edition does some things right. Unfortunately, does other things wrong, but I'm glad that it's finally on console so more people have an opportunity to check it out themselves and see what they think.